Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. As we continue with the theme of flow of thoughts, our understanding now moves into a subtler dimension. Having observed the movement of thoughts and our identification with them, today we reflect on an important inner truth. Not every thought requires our permission to stay. Thoughts arise, but it is our attention that grants them continuity. In heartfulness, we learn that awareness itself is a quiet choice, a choice of where we rest, what we nourish, and what we allow to dissolve. This gentle discernment brings dignity and freedom to the inner life. Thoughts may appear spontaneously, but their influence depends on the space we give them. When awareness is passive, thoughts multiply. When awareness is conscious, thoughts reorganize themselves. Heartfulness invites us to notice this inner choice without effort or control. As discernment grows, useful thoughts naturally remain. Unnecessary thoughts lose their momentum, and the inner order begins to emerge. The flow of thoughts become purposeful rather than crowded. Many thoughts persist not because they are important, but because they are interrupted, resisted, judged, or suppressed. Heartfulness teaches a softer approach, allowing thoughts to complete their movement without engagement. When thoughts are allowed to pass fully, mental fatigue reduces, emotional residue dissolves, attention returns naturally to the heart, and completion brings quiet closure, freeing awareness for the present moment. When the heart becomes the reference point, it gently regulates the flow of thoughts without force. The heart recognizes harmony instinctively. From this alignment, thoughts align with values, mental noise reduces, responses become timely and appropriate. The mind continues to function, but the heart sets the tone. Meditation stabilizes awareness at the heart, while cleaning clears the subtle impression that disturb mental flow. Together, they create a receptive inner field where thoughts arise in alignment rather than conflict. With regular practice, mental clutter decreases and thought serves action, not agitation. Daji reminds us that clarity is not achieved by thinking more, but by thinking from a quieter space. When the heart leads, thought becomes an instrument and not a burden. Dear sisters and brothers, as we move ahead in the session, if someone you know feels overwhelmed by constant thinking or mental pressure, this reflection may offer gentle reassurance, inviting them to explore meditation, heartfulness masterclasses, and the BHED sessions can help experience mental ease directly. And sharing these practices is a silent gesture of care for them. You will find the additional reading material on this theme and also the videos of beloved Daji, which is available on the Heartfulness app. You may please feel free to explore this additional material available on the Hearts app. We will do the reading today from the article Dealing with Thoughts, as we had completed the chapter reading from Heartfulness Way Book 2 on the flow of thoughts. So we'll start with the article reading. Daji dispels the myth that thoughts in meditation are bad and helps us understand how to accept our thoughts in a constructive way, eventually leading to period of thoughtlessness. Dear friends, one of the most common complaints we hear from newcomers to meditation is, I will never be able to meditate well as my mind is so busy with thoughts. How can I focus with such an active mind? In fact, rarely does anyone start a meditation practice with a regulated mind. Otherwise, why would we need to learn to meditate? It's like saying we need to know how to swim before we can get in the water to learn to swim. It takes practice. The outcome of regular meditation practice is a balanced, carefree, focused mind. The natural function of the mind is to think. Thinking is necessary to live and to make wise decisions. Thoughts are not the enemy. The best approach is to accept them. The mind is a powerful instrument and will not be subdued by force. If you try to use force to dispel thoughts or push them down, it will be counterproductive for once that force is lifted. The disturbing thoughts will come back a thousandfold. When you fight with your thoughts, they become stronger. So don't try to avoid thoughts during meditation or at other times. Simply remain unmindful of them and do not harbor the expectation that I must have a thoughtless state. When you are watching a film, reading a book, or focusing on a particular task, are you disturbed by other thoughts? Usually not. But that doesn't mean you don't have them. You are not attentive to them because what's happening at the time is taking your attention and interest. The same thing happens during meditation. When you are more interested in the light in your heart, other thoughts no longer bother you. Only if you give them attention do they draw power from your remain and constantly nagging. Sometimes you will experience really intense thoughts and emotions during meditation, and this can be unsettling. The reason this happens is that you repress these thoughts and feelings in the normal course of your days. You push them down into the recesses of your subconscious. But that doesn't get rid of them, and they remain within you, coloring your experiences and shaping your behavior in subtle and not so subtle ways. During meditation, these thoughts rise to the surface like air bubbles in a pot of boiling water. Rest assured, they are in the process of leaving, so try to pay them no heed. They have been inside you all along, even though you weren't aware of their presence. You create space when you meditate and they start coming out. They are better out than in. During meditation, you become aware of them. Thoughts come only to leave, so let them come and go. So simply let your thoughts flow. Although that doesn't mean you shouldn't indulge them. We often indulge both negative thoughts that worry us and good thoughts that impress us. It is never good because it reinforces them, creating more heaviness in our systems. If a thought does keep recurring despite your best efforts, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Otherwise, be unmindful of all thoughts during meditation, regardless of their nature. How? When you realize your attention has wandered, remind yourself that your thoughts are passing like clouds in the sky and gently return your attention to the light in your heart. Order can only be brought into the mind's busyness in the subtlest manner. A time comes when you will enter a state of thoughtlessness during meditation. This will happen when you dive into the subtlest realms of consciousness. Through the complementary effects of the daily heartfulness meditation and heartfulness cleaning methods, you will bring the heart to a peaceful state and the mind to a restful one. Once this is achieved, you will naturally be able to regulate your thoughts. Try it and see for yourself. Meditation is much more effective once you have been introduced to the heartfulness practices by a certified trainer. You can find and contact a trainer near you at www.heartspots.heartfulness.org. All the best, Daji. Dear sisters and brothers, with this we have completed our article reading for today. And let us now offer the universal prayer together. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। May this universal prayer awakens love and unity in the hearts of all. Dear sisters and brothers, as you prepare for the rest tonight, do take few moments to offer the bedtime prayer and the reflections of the day. Let the bedtime prayer restore the balance and the quietude. Dear sisters and brothers, thank you for being part of this evening session today. And we look forward to your presence for the morning session tomorrow at 6 a.m. Until then, wishing you all a restful sleep and Master's loving presence accompany you through the night. Thank you.